All right, it's recording. Okay. So, we're basically talking about the death of the author. Okay. To give author the text is imposing a stop clause. That is why finalizing its meaning. You cannot do that in when you are having a postmodernist view of reading or having a post-structuralist view of reading, because there is no postmodernism basically equals to there is no one meaning. All right, deconstruction or post-structuralism basically means that language never is in a constant state of dissemination. Okay, that it echoes, one sign leads to another sign, you can never reach the final center that is there. Okay, similarly, if you are Rola Bath comes in and says that if you when we read a text and we look towards author for his intentions for the meaning, that is putting a stop clause to the meaning. Second thing that you have to keep in mind is that he's not talking about the critics. He is not saying कि जो critics read कर रहे हैं वो सही है, ठीक है, वो कह रहा है कि जो readers in general, all right, all the readers, okay, and they have multiple interpretations, it's open to that. So one reader is leading basically one interpretation leads to another interpretation and another interpretation, just like it happens within a language, one sign leads to another sign, right? So मैंने पिछली बार बताया था कि जो जैसे लैंग्वेज है, sorry, language is a system of sign and one sign is leading to another sign. All right, similarly text is made up of language, so the text is never autonomous. Okay, a text is a part of another text, which is a part of another text, basically, right? So text is never complete within itself. So how can you have a complete meaning of something that is not even complete? All right. So no ultimate meaning, but open to interpretations by the readers. Writing ceaselessly posits meaning, but always in order to evaporate it, and the role of the writer gets reduced to what, to a scripter or an inscriptor, that is the one who is just putting black words on a piece of paper, that's it. Okay, he repeats the example of Balzac, that is the man dressed as a woman talking about women. Okay, so इसमें हम लोग को पता करना था किसने dialogue बोला है, right? So he comes to Balzac, quotes it again, and then he says that though the source of the dialogue cannot be located, but it can be perfectly read. Okay, it can be perfectly read. That is, the language is there in front of you, and it is the language that consists of everything that you need to know. Okay, everything that is, you need to know who the subject, what is being talked about. Okay, you need to know the object or whatever. Okay, so it's within the language where you have to pay attention to. And that's also changes for and that also differs for everyone, because it's a language in performance. तो तुम लोग language को कैसे intake कर रहे हो वो भी depend करेगा, right? That also keeps on changing. Okay, next example, he gives a very interesting example of Greek tragedies. Okay, example of Greek tragedies, the text of which is woven with words. Now this is a quotation from the essay itself. All right, I hope you all can see the screen. I didn't ask you. सबको screen दिख रही है?
Yes, ma'am.
The text of which, the Greek tragedies, the text of which is woven with words that have double meanings, each character understanding them unilaterally. This perpetual misunderstanding is precisely what is meant by the tragic. Yet there is someone who understands each word in its duplicity and understands further. One might say the very deafness of the characters speaking in front of him. This someone is precisely the reader, or here the spectator. कोई आई थिंक मैकबेथ पढ़ी, मैकबेथ होप किसी ने मैकबेथ पढ़ी है? तुम लोग ने कोई भी शेक्सपियरियन ट्रेजेडी पढ़ी है? कोई भी ट्रेजेडी पढ़ी है? क्रिस्टोफर मार्लो पढ़ा होगा?
यस मैम, मैकबेथ पढ़े हैं।
हाँ,
मैकबेथ
मैकबेथ पढ़ा है। ओके
मैम मैकबेथ भी पढ़ी है, फॉस्टर भी पढ़ा है।
ओके, तो मैकबेथ में देखो, जब वो लोग प्लॉट कर रहे हैं, राइट, ऑब्वियसली दिस इज द, ये लोग तो ग्रीक एग्जाम लोग अपने लेवल का करते हैं। जैसे कि when Lady Macbeth and Macbeth are planning something, okay, and she is kind of encouraging him. So there is a मतलब देखो, अब मैकबेथ के दिमाग में बहुत कुछ चल रहा है. अच्छा वो छोड़ो, चलो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द फर्स्ट सीन व्हेन देयर इज दिस प्रोफेसी चल रही है. देयर इज बैंको प्रेजेंट एंड देयर इज मैकबेथ एंड देयर आर द थ्री विचेस. रिमेंबर, एक्चुअली इट्स द सेकंड सीन.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yes
Second
ma'am.
scene first.
हाँ, तो
Yes.
मैकबेथ को फॉरेन स्ट्राइक कर गया उसकी एम्बिशन. ऑलराइट, उसको फॉरेन स्ट्राइक की उसकी एम्बिशन, एंड ही इज basically soliloquing inside himself. He is thinking whatever he is thinking कि हाँ ऐसा possible है. While Banco looking at him cannot tell him, we cannot tell what is going on in his mind. All right, so he doesn't read him, he doesn't judge him, whatever. While on the other hand, Macbeth is actually from that very point has started, kind of planning the murder of Duncan and also Banco. Banco का तो खैर बाद में, because वो तो बाद में आएगा उसका murder तो. But for that on that very, and he is actually jealous of Banco because the witches prophesied कि he will be the father of the lineage of the the kings that would be there. Okay, so all this thing, while that is going inside the, you guys know, because you are the audience, you're sitting in the audience, you are reading the play. Okay, Macbeth knows what's going on in his mind. Banquo doesn't know what's going on in Macbeth's mind. Neither does Macbeth knows what goes on in Banquo's mind. That is the kind of khichdi that happens within the play. ठीक है, इसको हम लोग ड्रामेटिक आयरनी भी कहते हैं. तो इन्होंने कब कुछ विद इन द कैरेक्टर, तो हम लोग देखते हैं कैरेक्टर्स जो है कैसे एक दूसरे को कोई भी बात जो है एक दूसरे की कैसे गलत तरीके से इंटरप्रेट करते हैं. राइट, देयर आर कंफ्यूजन्स. ओके, there are a lot of meanings to that, to what people are saying, but the the listening character doesn't understand. Okay, but who understands that it is the reader who actually gets what is going on in the, because you have that kind of this advantageous seat. तुमको सबसे ऊपर की सीट मिली हुई है नीचे देखने को, राइट? तो तुमको सबसे ज्यादा दिखाई दे रहा है. That's why he says कि the reader, it is the someone is that some the one who can actually read the deafness of the characters. Even in modern times, जब जो कुछ चीजें होती हैं, जैसे फॉर a lot of things are left in silences. ठीक है, तो you have to pay attention to that silence कि why doesn't a reader said kind of why didn't the character say that thing. Okay, for example, zoo story पढ़ी थी हम लोगों ने, तो there were a lot of silences in between them. Peter
और
was
मैम जू
not.
स्टोरी में एक, हाँ, साइलेंसेस के बाद में एक जो बार बार इंटरेस्ट होता है वो उसको जेरी के फ्रेम्स में पीटर का.
हाँ,
तो
for
जेरी कितनी भी
example.
बकवास करता रहे पर, हाँ, कितनी भी बकवास करता रहे पर पीटर का इन दी एंड में क्वेश्चन होता है कि वो तुम्हारे जो एम्प्टी फ्रेम्स हैं वो किस
वो
लिए.
किस लिए है, राइट? तो वो जो है वो देखो, वो हम लोग ने उसको, वो किसको दिखाई दिया, वो किसने नोटिस किया? तुमने नोटिस किया बिकॉज यू रेड द प्ले, राइट? ओके, सो that is not given to you by the author's intention. That is not given to you by that is given because you read it, right? And multiple people would have interpreted it in their own ways, right? So that is basically he's saying कि जब जैसे ग्रीक ट्रेजेडीज का एग्जाम्पल देते हुए कहा है कि देखो वो लोग भी कैसे लिखते थे उस टाइम पे, तो तुम लोग भी देखो, तुम लोग को भी ऐसे ही पढ़ना चाहिए कि देयर इज नो फिक्स्ड मीनिंग बेसिकली. ओके, जैसे वो उस दिन तुमने फेमिनिज्म वाला पॉइंट दिया था कि वो पहले से होता आ रहा है, वी जस्ट हैव टू ऑब्जर्व इट फॉर नाउ, फॉर दिस टाइम. Similarly, Rola Barthes gave this example of Greek tragedies. ठीक है, अब इसको बस पढ़ लेते हैं. We have done this. In this way, this is revealed the whole being of a writing. A text consists of multiple writings, issuing from several cultures. Now, this is that point जो मैंने बताया ना, a text is a text of another text, basically deconstruction. Issuing from several cultures, entering into dialogue with each other, into parody, into contestations. But there is one place where this multiplicity is collected, united, and this place is not the author, as we have hitherto said it was, but the reader. The reader is the very space. Please remember this. अगर इसको use कर पाओ, इस quotation को, तो it will be pretty, kind of awesome. Reader is the very space in which are inscribed, without anything being lost, all the citations in a writing. Consist of the unity of a text is not in its origin, it is in its destination. Origin क्या है? Writer. Destination क्या है? Reader. So the unity of the text can be united only by a reader, not by the writer. That's why it says that. Now this is kind of, this becomes kind of what Rolla Barthes, comes to be known as. So, whenever we talk about it, you kind of remember this. So please remember this. The unity of the text is not in its origin, but it is in its destination. But this destination can no longer be personal. The reader is a man without history, without biography, without psychology. He is only that someone who holds gathered into a single field all the parts of which the text is constituted. Now, you cannot go after each reader reading about their biographical informations like you did with the author, reading about their history to know why they interpreted the text like so. Okay. That's why I said that it's not about the critics कि हर critic के पीछे हम लोग जाकर बोल रहे हैं कि इन्होंने ऐसा text क्यों interpret किया. नहीं 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 नहीं. It's it's just this being who is like standing in the middle of a field जहाँ पे अलग अलग रास्ते आकर जुड़ जाते हैं. That's all he's saying. Just let the text be an open-ended text. Okay, that's his point. Okay, where is it? Okay, so no text is original but created out of anterior sources. Anterior means older sources. Even a word that you use, if you have बहुत ही ज्यादा original भी है, तब भी तुमने डिक्शनरी से कहीं ना कहीं से निकाला होगा, राइट? अगर दो वर्ड्स को जोड़कर कोई कंपाउंड वर्ड भी बनाया है, तब भी कहीं ना कहीं डिक्शनरी में वो वर्ड ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट करता होगा, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाट बात इज. Writing is mere imitation of pre-existing word. Does the word imitation remind you of something? Just an interesting question. Imitation से कुछ याद आता है?
Imitation of an action. मैम उनकी theory.
Imitation is, Aristotle's theory, right? The tragedy is an imitation of action that is serious complete. He says, Rolla Barthes, coming in more post-modern modern time, says writing is mere imitation of pre-existing words. It's not any. It's basically he has replaced human beings with language. Human actions, nahi. Imitation of pre-existing words. All right. Thus, Barthes buries the author, the creator of this idea of that the author is the creator of something new, because he doesn't have any that capability to do that. It's the reader who becomes important. And reader, why does reader becomes important? Because reader is actually just viewing basically the language. Okay. Reader stands in the single field where all the paths from where the text is derived meet. The author must die to give space to the readers, as no text has a single definite meaning, but it's the readers who can unite the meaning of the text, each with a new interpretation. That's the end of the death of the author. Any problem? कोई हमें तो नहीं लगता. इसको हम लोग ने काफी डिटेल में किया है. I have sent you the essay. I'll send you the PPT. Read the PPT along with the text, and you'll get everything you have to in this death of the author. Okay. Can we talk about discourse analysis? बताओ भाई. तनवीर, हिना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. बहुत आसान है. डिस्कोर्स एनालिसिस इज वेरी इजी. इफ यू हैव मतलब अगर फेमिनिज्म तो तुम लोग ऑलरेडी पढ़ ही चुके हो, तो तुम लोग को आसानी से समझ में आ जाएगा, बिकॉज इट इज आल्सो काइंड ऑफ अ डिस्कोर्स एनालिसिस. सो आई यूज दैट एग्जांपल. ओके. सो एक सेकंड. डिस्कोर्स एनालिसिस में एक ये महान इंसान आए थे, मिशेल फूको. ओके. Michel Foucault is a French philosopher. He is responsible for something called turn in discourse. Now, when we talk about discourse analysis, normally जो मतलब जिन्होंने already discourse analysis पढ़ा होता है, उन लोगों का दिमाग सबसे पहले जाता है linguistics में, because critical discourse analysis is a big study in as far as linguistics is concerned. Okay, तो discourse का उधर meaning होता है basically the how are we interpreting the speech, or how are we interpreting the words. Okay. Okay, in what basically it's a very, क्या पता है कि किस context में आप अगर मतलब some for example someone is sitting there, two people are sitting on a dining table, okay, one person said to the another person salt, just salt, nothing else, okay. So discourse analysis will tell you that how matlab the meaning, how what happened, that what was it that made the other person actually pick up the salt and pass it on to you. He didn't say the entire word that pass me the salt, he didn't say that, he said salt, but the context, okay, and the understanding between the two people, led to this formation of meaning that led to the action. Okay, हिना माइक ऑफ कर लो. ओके, तो ये लिंग्विस्टिक्स में डिस्कोर्स चला जाता है. बट मिशेल फूको जो है, द थिंग वी आर कंसर्न्ड विद, मिशेल फूको से इज दैट डिस्कोर्स एनालिसिस इज नॉट ओनली कनेक्टेड विद लिंग्विस्टिक्स बट इट्स कनेक्टेड अक्रॉस डिसिप्लिन्स. ठीक है, सारे उसमें आ जाएगा, चाहे तुम्हारा सोशियोलॉजी हो, चाहे तुम्हारा इकोनॉमिक्स हो, चाहे तुम्हारा साइंस, मतलब इवन साइंस में भी आ जाएगा. So what is discourse analysis? What is discourse? Discourse are a set of statements about something, basically a set of knowledge that you have about something, okay, that is there in the society. So तो अब मिशेल फूको पे आते हैं. पहले मिशेल फूको के दो आइडियाज थे. फर्स्ट कैटेगरी के आइडियाज थे उनके कि जो है उनको his ideas were related to power. Second category के ideas थे that his ideas were related to knowledge, and both obviously both categories are interrelated. Okay, now first coming to power is a very important concept when you come to discourse analysis. Okay, जिसके हाथ में power उसके हाथ में सब कुछ basically. Let's see what it is. According to Foucault, power is immanent and intrinsic. It can be analyzed in a bottom up model. Bottom up model in the sense, एक होता है top bottom model, एक होता है bottom up model. तो अगर कोई चीज ऊपर से नीचे पढ़ोगे, फर्स्ट टायर से लेकर नीचे तक आओगे, तो उसको top bottom model कहेंगे. तो ये कहते हैं कि हम लोग, because power is so pervasive, it is everywhere in every relationship, from at a very grassroots level. So and it influences not even your social life but your individual decisions. Okay, so that's how that's why you can study power from in a top model. For example, very easy example, a husband wife relationship. Okay, it's a very individual and a personal relationship. Okay, it's a binding relationship, it's a contractual relationship. Okay, so what kind of, according to Foucault, what runs that relationship? Power. How does this is what feminism is out. How does man comes to dominate women? Power. That's because there is this cultural the set of cultural and social practices and ideas and information that yes ki jo hai aapko ki jo hai the husband would be would have the authority in that relationship. That's why it's there. Okay, because of the set of the cultural practices and social values that already exists. Okay, now one thing we have to keep in mind, that Foucault doesn't uses power only for its repressive nature. Okay, repressive in the sense that you are dominating someone else. Foucault uses the word power for other in the sense that you can, it's even productive, because with power, with authority, you can bring actual changes in the society. Okay, so for example, if someone reaches the top and that person has the power, then you can actually through that power you can bring actual social changes that will benefit everyone. Okay, it is productive as one can use the power to bring change in the society. Power is also constraining because the one who is being dominated is obviously felt like you are in someone's hand. And enabling because it enables a person to do what he wants to do, or he or she wants to do. So it's
it's you know, it's a very paradoxical kind of concept. Okay, so it's both constraining and enabling, it's both productive and repressive. Getting my point? And how it can be, you know, studied from a bottom top model. This is, you know, this is the concept of power that Foucault gives to you, that basically the society, from the social to the individual level, are basically fueled by the power. You can find power everywhere. Okay, समझ में आया? कोई प्रॉब्लम है ना? तनवीर, अदनान, हेलो।
नो
Yes,
मैम,
ma'am.
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
Yes, ma'am.
मैंने अटेंडेंस नहीं ली ना, एक सेकेंड अटेंडेंस ले लो।